The last game of the regular season, the last 4 races to qualify for this year's Belleville Nationals. That white number 36 is Robbie Flock. An old friend, Larry Brown, loaned him the car. Robbie destroyed his own car last night. Here's the lineup. Andy Pearson, Bob Brosman, front row. Second row, Gary Howard, California, and Tice Carlson, Indiana. Kerry Foss and Jack Hewitt. Fourth row, Jay Drake and Leland McSpadden, and Robbie Flock will start alone in 5th spot. Watch the starts. The first 4 cars move on to the championship final. Look at Flock on the white car on the high side. He's already tried to pick up a couple positions. Jack Hewitt moved in front of him, cut the row off. He heard him coming up. Flock is right in the middle of the racetrack in that white number 36 and trying to move.
Brosman and Pierce battling for the top spot as we look at Flock down on the inside Hewitt. Oh, they make a little contact as they go through there. Kerry Foss on the other side. He was in a sandwich there. Made some contact, but came through it okay.
Flock really had to get on the brakes and depend on the other people around him, particularly Jack Hewitt, to not get him in trouble. Flock taking a big chance there on lap number 1. Smoke coming out of Tice Carlson's car as he runs about mid-pack here in the first heat on Saturday.
That's Flock right behind Tice Carlson. Carlson's car is smoking very, very badly as Flock goes up on the high side, right on around him. Now Gary Howard right in front of him.
Robbie Flock putting on a show here and paying back the favor that old friend Larry Brown gave him as Flock moves from the back of the pack. He goes to the high side of Bob Brosman, and Flock moves into the runner-up position, and Tice Carlson is smoking for the skiers.
That was Andy Pearson, 83 car, leading the race and had to pull in and stop because of some sort of a problem. But Tice Carlson is really throwing a lot of smoke as Flock just pulls away from the rest of the field.
Flock finds himself now in the lead with the demise of Andy Pierce. Tough break for the young driver who originally raced out of Oklahoma. Now he lives in Indiana. Pierce has been fast here at Belleville, but each of the last 2 years he's had mechanical problems.
The hood is loose on Tice Carlson's car as well. Besides the smoke, the hood is loose and flopping around. We'll have to watch that too. There he goes down to the inside. He can't stand it anymore. The car's actually on fire. He's going wide open.
The red number 62 now moves up to 3rd position. That is Kerry Foss. He was fast qualifier on Thursday. There's Jack Hewitt in the J.W. Hunt Special. Hewitt trying to figure out a way to get into the first 4. Now, if they don't make it in this race, there is a semi-feature tonight, but they all want to make it to the main through the heat race because that's the easier route.
Kerry Foss just moved into 2nd position. Brosman running in 3rd and trying to hang on to that position.
You can see the track starts out tonight a little heavier than it ended up on either Thursday or Friday night. Some of the cars have collected a lot of wet dirt on the noses, but that's certain to change as the night wears on. That's Jay Drake in that black number 5, and Drake has moved himself temporarily into a position of qualifying for the 1994 Nationals.
Jay Drake very fast up on the cushion down there. He tries to slide in under Brosman coming off of turn 4 into turn 1 again down on the bottom, but it's just not quite as fast down there. See if he can pull it off.
Very close racing. Drake low, Brosman high, side by side, wheel to wheel, hub to hub, driver to driver, elbow to elbow. How's this one going to turn out? And Brosman turns him away.
Yes, he certainly does. Drake gave him a good try down on that inside. You can see that the cushion right now is a little bit away from the fence. It's down farther on the racetrack. They put a lot of water on this racetrack last night after last night's race, trying to keep it good and wet. And right now it is very, very wet. Still has a nice cushion.
But a terrific performance for Robbie Flock. He'll start no better than 9th in the main event. Foss is 2nd, Drake comes home 3rd, and Bob Brosman moves into 4th. Hewitt goes to the semi-feature.
Robbie, you've had a long weekend, but you're in the show.
Yeah, we're real happy. Larry Brown and Larry Howard gave me a chance to come back after last night, and just real proud to be in this car and real proud to be in the Belleville Nationals again. Looking forward to a good, strong night. Car is excellent and it's super fast, so I have high you know the word. I have a lot of hope, so we're going to go out and do the best we can.
Heat race number 2 moves up to the stage and takes center stage, and here's the lineup. Mike Menark, he'll starts on the pole in car number 53. Kevin Cook is scheduled to go on the outside in car number 99. Mark Passarelli, former winner, starts 3rd. Dan Borse is 4th. Randy Fiskus is in this race, as is Tony Elliott, Paige Jones, white number 9, John Sarna, blue and orange number 20, and Mark Stassa. It's green.
It's Dan Gorse in the 11 car that did start in that front row. Tony Elliott right behind him, and those two pull away from Chris Field going down the back straightaway.
Gorse got a particularly great jump. He was in 4th, at least on the starting grid, but really got off the line well. And Tony Elliott didn't do bad either. He started in 6th, and by the second turn, he was already in 2nd place.
Page Jones running in 3rd position in that white number 9 car. He came back in the back too. It seemed like the outside row had the preferred spot. And they moved around everybody else going into turn 1 and have held on to it ever since.
Well, I kind of imagine that Gorse and Elliott kind of looked around and saw a couple of drivers with not as much experience on this track down in the bottom, and they just hooked up. They drafted, if it was a draft, and took off.
You're going to see Tony Elliott move to the bottom, see if it's what's down there. Not much. He slid right back up to the top, had to get back on the cushion. Couldn't hold the bottom line.
Meanwhile, Page says, I'm pretty comfortable up here on the cushion. Go ahead, Tony. Try it again. Try that left cross, and I'll just take the line.
Well, that's what he's hoping. He's hoping he'll move down just one more time. He's close enough now to close the door. He can't move back up once Page gets on the outside of him, and I'm sure that's what Page is waiting for.
3 very experienced drivers. They know exactly where they are on the track. They know they've made the main event. Yeah, they'll race. They're race drivers. They'd like to win, but I don't really expect any of them to take any big chances. That's Jones kind of trailing along, watching the shadows of Tony Elliott. Elliott says, yeah, let's see, let me try Gorse. He's a little slower than I am, but maybe he has just opened the door for Page Jones. Let's see how the hand plays out.
See if he can get up there. Yes, he does. He moved up there just far enough, and that was close. You take the chance that the guy on the inside won't see you. Right then, I'm not sure Tony saw him till the last second. And you can see him jerk the wheel to the left to keep from sliding on up to that cushion. And he did give Page Jones enough room.
So if you're Page Jones, you're thinking, gee, that worked that time. Maybe I'll just coast here behind it, and maybe Gorse will move down.
Yeah, but Gorse doesn't have to move down. He's got the lead. So Page is the one that's going to have to move down now and try to give him that little slide job to get up in the groove and stop him. That 11 car has a Cosworth engine in it. It's the smallest engine here, even though it's an overhead cam engine. It's only 130 cubic inches. Most of these cars are around 150 or 160 cubic inches.
Wilkie racers have existed, as I'm guessing most of you know, since the 1950s. They won a lot of Indianapolis car races, and the Wilkie family continues the tradition as the sons and the grandsons continue to field a race car. Midgets have always been their first love. Used to have a little track in the infield of the Milwaukee Mile, and that's really where the Wilkies got going. And I'm sure that they wish there was still a dirt racetrack in the center of that track.
I'm sure Page Jones right now working all over Dan Borsby, just can't find a way. That cushion is the only really fast place on the racetrack right now, and as long as Bors stays there and doesn't make a mistake, it's going to be very difficult for Page Jones to get around it.
Page is in the well-known number 9 of Steve Lewis. He makes a run at it at the start-finish line, but he comes home second, just falling short. Elliott and Fiskus for 3rd and 4th.
Dan, great job. You're in the show.
Well, it was a struggle, but I'm really glad we're in the big one Saturday, and the Wilkie car with the Cosworth, we're getting it figured out now, and hopefully, well, it's 40 laps, anything can happen. You got to finish first. Got to finish to finish first.
4 more cars move on, 2 more final chances. Here is heat race number 3, Aaron Fiskus, older of the 2 Fiskus brothers. Starts on the pole. Steve Newman is 2nd. Dean Franklin, the black number 23, is 3rd. The white red trim number 17 of Josh Pelkey on the outside. Johnny Heidenreich inside of row number 3. Sleepy Tripp, he starts 6th in car number 3. Jason Jonkman, he's 7th starter. Randy Roberts changed rides for tonight. He's in the red 10. He is 8th. And Freddie Teagarden scheduled to go 9th. Green flag at heat race number 3 begins.
Newman gets a good jump up on the outside, but look down at the bottom. Sleepy Tripp got a terrific start, moved right into the first spot for the 6th starting position in turn 1.
And look at Fiskus sliding hard sideways into corner number 3. Holds on, but just for a second he ends up losing the position.
Jason Jonkman down there in that red number 1, trying to gain spots as he's moving up slowly but surely. He's really giving these guys a battle down there, what is probably a little bit slower group.
Steve Newman holding on, but it certainly looks vulnerable at this point. There goes Jonkman to the low side. They come very close, entering corner number 1. Steve Newman, eyes wide open, picks out that cushion, tries to hold his line, but whoosh, on the inside. There goes Johnson.
I think Jonkman intimidated him a little bit. He got out of the throttle when he got that right rear right up next to him. He just got out of the throttle and let him go. It's pretty intimidating when you're running that fast to have a guy throwing that right rear at you like Jonkman did.
Very impressed with Aaron Fiskus. He's a driver who has not had nearly the laps at Belleville that most of these drivers in this race, like that one right there, Randy Roberts in the red 10, has had. But Aaron is really holding his own.
He certainly is. This battle from 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, a real battle. All these guys back there working hard, trying to find a place. But right now, they can't get around.
Only 4 will automatically transfer to the championship race. Fiskus slides in, going in at about a 45-degree angle, scuffing off a lot of speed, but he stays on the gas when he straightens it out. He's got a little bit of momentum, surprisingly.
Yeah, Roberts moving up there on that top groove. He's trying to find a way around, but he's kind of stuck. The racetrack is really much faster on the top.
This is 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Look at this. Almost 4 abreast, and only 2 of those cars are going to move on. Tremendous racing here in heat race number 3 on Saturday night at Belleville.
Randy Roberts put down on the inside right there. Fiskus gets in between those 2 guys, still hanging on to that 5th spot, trying to move on up.
Boy, this is fantastic. Newman in black, Fiskus in blue and white, Roberts in red, and Teagarden in white. A little bit of breathing room for the veteran Randy Roberts. Now he only has to deal with Steve Newman. Roberts not that much faster than the other 4 cars, other 3 cars in this battle, but Larry, I think his experience is really showing out. He's doing a little better job keeping the momentum.
Well, he's just trying to do different things. He goes in on the cushion, then tries to dime it off and come in under him off the corner. That's what he's trying to do right there, dime it off. But look at this, 3 abreast coming off the corner. Boy, does that get tight.
Look at Teagarden. Now, Teagarden is taking a conservative line. He is committed to it. He stayed down there, and he stayed in this hunt for 3rd and 4th position, which is, again, up for grabs here at this point. White flag, last lap.
A little bit of wet dirt right down there in the middle, but nobody seems to be able to carry it through the corner. They can get through the corner good, but they just can't quite pull it off. Tripp wins.
Tripp wins it. Second goes to Jason Jonkman. Here comes 3rd, 4th. 3rd's going to go to Randy Roberts, and 4th to Steve Newman, and what a deserving 4th position that was. Aaron Fiskus comes home in 5th.
Sleepy, it looked like the race car was just on a rail.
Yeah, the car was pretty good. We've been pretty good early in the night. We just, the track gets a little bit slick. We've been in trouble later on in the night.
How is the racetrack right now?
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, it's probably as good as it's been. Thursday night was a pretty good night, but last night it got black pretty quick.
All right, well, good luck in the feature.
Thank you.
So the veteran Sleepy Tripp is in. We go to the semi. Here is the 11th hour, the final chance to get into the Midget Nationals lineup. Ohio's Jack Hewitt and Arizona's Mark Passarelli, former winner here. Aaron Fiskus from Wisconsin starts 3rd, with Gary Howard of Upland, California in the red and white striker car 4th. John Sarna, Huntington Beach, California 5th, and Freddie Teagarden. Great night, but he's not in the main event yet. Great week for that matter. Mark Stassa from Kansas, he starts in 7th. Dean Franklin from Wisconsin starts 8th. Then comes Oklahoma's Andy Pierce, the car is black. Arizona's Josh Pelkey, the car is white. And finally, Bloomfield, Pennsylvania's Johnny Heidenreich. Heidenreich's got the potential of coming up here and finishing in the first 4.
Passarelli looked like he got off to a great start. Looked like he was just going to jump away from everybody, but Hewitt got a good bite going through the corner, but couldn't get back around Passarelli as he leads this first lap.
Gary Howard right now runs in 3rd. He follows Ohio's Jack Hewitt and Fred Teagarden Jr. He's had a terrific week. I cannot believe he's not in the main event yet. He missed ever so slightly every time he's been in a preliminary.
This is some of the toughest racing you're going to see anywhere. It's very tough just to make the main event. Teagarden's a good example of a guy who's just run his heart out and just been one position away all week long.
Passarelli and Hewitt are trading back and forth. Gary Howard joins the fray. First 3 cars, first 4 will get into the main event. Hewitt looks like he may have the handle on this one as he begins to put a little bit of distance between himself and, is it Passarelli? Is it Howard? It's both of them. It's a dead heat for second place.
They're running pretty fast right now. Passarelli's got the preferred line. Gary Howard's got to find out a way to get up on that cushion and diamond down off and get around him. Passarelli right now pretty much running right in the middle of the racetrack, making a tough one.
Gary Howard in the Mike Stryker engineered, designed, and built Hawk race car. A name that they took from Clint Bronner. Clint Bronner allowed them to do so. I shouldn't say took. Clint gave the permission. He was interested in Mike's career as a car builder and engineer. And he said, if anything ever happens to me, you're welcome to borrow my name. I'm always going to have the Hawk Indy cars, and I'd be privileged to have a Hawk Midget.
Gary Howard doing a nice job in that race car, as he always does. But right now, he can't find a way around Mark Passarelli. He's right up on the top, trying to get around. Passarelli's not up against the cushion, but he's just close enough to it that they can't get around on the outside.
There's our old friend Teagard. He's got a qualifying place right now. He's in 4th position if he can just hold his own. As there goes Howard, finally gets underneath Passarelli, but as closely matched as these two cars are, I don't know that it's over yet.
That's right. Once he got around, though, he's pulling out to a 4 or 5 car length lead.
Yeah, he has.
He got a nice jump on him. I think he was faster. He just didn't find a way around until about lap 6 or 7.
Well, if you're in the show, there's no need to really take any big chances. Now here comes Teagard up to challenge Passarelli. Passarelli, who won this race a number of years ago, the last couple seasons has been here, been competitive, but just didn't have the same style and speed that he had in 1984 when he won here.
Look at Aaron Fiskus. Aaron Fiskus comes from way in the back. He's got up on that groove. He's found a way around these guys up front. Now that he's moved around Teagarden, again putting Teagarden back to 5th spot, and now the show at this point.
Boy, for Fred Teagarden, this is an accordion. Open and close, open and close. He's in the show, he's out of the show. He deserves to be in, but then again, so does the former winner, Mark Passarelli. So does Fiskus. He's coming a long way back.
These guys are all running hard. Passarelli likes the low groove. He's running down in the middle of the racetrack. 1 lap to go. White flag is out. Teagarden better get on the stick. He doesn't have far to get back around in the 4th spot.
Well, both of them slow coming out of corner. Oh, the yellow flag is out. Both of our cars we are watching battle for the 4th position slowed down, but the yellow flag is out. Here's the way the cars will restart. Aaron Fiskus will be 3rd. Passarelli, the white blue trim number 48, 4th, and Fred Teagarden in the white yellow numeral number 70 will be 5th. Apparently a yellow flag for debris. It's going to be green and then checker. 9 of the 10 laps complete. Jack Hewitt certainly gets a big jump. Gary Howard likewise in 2nd place. You see those 3 cars kind of put Sarna into that deal also, as there are 4 of them and only 2 of them will move on, Larry.
Passarelli and Fiskus really battling each other back there. Sarner's in the mix. Teagarden down on the bottom. He didn't have any choice. The rest of them went to the top. Right now, Passarelli's just trying to keep everybody behind him by running in the middle of the racetrack.
And 4th place is a photo finish. Too close to call. The scorers will have to figure this one out. And it goes to Aaron Fiskus. Fred Teagarden misses the big show.
Jack, great job. Tell me about that pass on Passarelli.
Well, at the beginning, I knew we had to try to do something. The car stuck right in the middle, and our little Ford motor's running good. So I think that made it a little bit easier, and I know he don't give up, so we just kept on going.
I know earlier you and I talked about your strength. How do you feel?
I don't feel too bad. I don't think my car's just right yet. You know, Bob's going to work on it. He's working on the motor a little bit, so hopefully by the main we'll have her dialed in.
All right, we'll see you in the championship race.
Thank you.
Kickoff time. Time for the first pitch. The championship race of Belleville, 1994. The ceremonial 4 abreast start, and here is the starting lineup for the 1994 Belleville Midget Nationals. You'll see Kevin Doty. He'll have the privilege of starting from the pole.
What a beautiful sight that is. You're right, Kevin Doty on the pole. Donnie Beechler running right beside him into a great start for this race.
You and I were talking a little bit earlier this evening, and you were real disappointed that you had to pull for numbers to get starting positions, but it looks like it worked out okay for you.
Well, I wasn't sure how they run the program, and I figured like our Chili Bowl program, whoever wins on Thursday night starts on the left side, whoever wins Friday night starts on the right side. So all through last night, you know, you run these races through your mind on what you're going to do or what you think's going to happen. And then when I got here, they said, well, we're drawing for positions, so you kind of reorganize yourself, and you know, it was luck of the draw, and we just lucked out right where we wanted to be.
Well, do you think this position, outside front row, is better than the pole?
I'll tell you, it's 40 laps, and it's not a drag race. You know, it isn't over in 10 seconds. I think it's as good a place as any. I guess it's for a high-speed track the way this is, being up on top would be about the right place to be.
In row number 2, Danny Drynan will be on the inside, and on the outside of him, dirt car specialist Tommy Estes Jr.
Danny Drynan, we talked a little earlier about drawing for positions, and you drew inside second row. Do you think that's a disadvantage?
I would have preferred outside front row, but we're here and we're going to go 40 laps and see what we can do.
Tommy Estes, congratulations. You're going to start on the outside of the second row.
Yeah, you know, we got some tough company in front of us, but this is better than back there.
You know, when you look at all the drivers that are here, you probably have more experience at this racetrack than any of them. Do you really feel like you have that advantage?
Well, with the guys that we're racing with here, you know, they're good caliber racers. They race all kinds of cars all over the country. It's not much of an advantage. I may know a little bit on the racetrack here and there, but, you know, they're good racers. It's not that much.
All right, well, good luck.
Thanks, Jordan.
In row number 3, Steve Knepper driving the Zeronian Motorsports car, and Tony Stewart in the Ralph Potter-owned machine team car. Two guys starting on the front row.
Steve is a former winner of this event. Do you feel like you got some kind of an advantage here tonight?
Well, I think so. You know, you get a little experience around here, and just, you know, lap traffic, and lap traffic really plays a big part in the whole thing, and keeping your nose clean and finish the 40 laps.
Tony, last night you started dead last, you worked your way up to 4th. Tonight you start 6th. It's got to feel a little better than it did last night.
Yeah, at least I can see the front row tonight when we take the green flag for the feature. So, you know, my teammate's on the front row, and I think Donnie's got a good car, and I got a good car. Hopefully he'll get out front, and the whole outside row will just take off and see what we can do.
How do you feel about your chances here tonight?
Well, I think the cars are great. You know, Ralph Potter's did a great job, you know, building 2 real strong motors, and John Godfrey from Stealth builds a great chassis. You know, we got one of the best combinations in the United States right now, so I think we got a good chance.
Well, we hope for a good, safe, clean ride.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Row mates in row number 4, Jerry Coons Jr. and Richard Griffin on the outside, a couple of Southwestern State drivers. In row number 5, side by side, Robbie Flock from Temecula, California, and Danny Borse in the Wilkie Racers number 11. In row number 6, the venerable one, Ron Sleepy Tripp, a 2-time winner here, and Kerry Foss from Yorba Linda, California, in Dave Strickland's car.
Row number 7 is Paige Jones driving for Steve Lewis and Jason Jonkman from Las Vegas, Nevada. Row number 8 has Jay Drake from Valle Verde, California, driving for Mike Drake, and Tony Elliott from Kokomo, Indiana, driving the Esslinger car. Row number 9 is Randy Roberts. And beside him is Bob Brosman. These two guys would like to move up front.
In row number 10 on the inside is Randy Fiskus, the Madison, Wisconsin driver, one of the surprises here this weekend, and Steve Newman from nearby, relatively speaking, Lakewood, Colorado. Jack Hewitt starts in the inside of row number 11, and in car number 8 on the outside of that row is Gary Howard in the Stryker Racing Machine. In the 12th row, Mark Passarelli, former winner here, and Aaron Fiskus, talk about your surprises, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The cars are assembled, and we are about to go for the 1994 Belleville Midget Nationals. This is an event, Larry, that the competitors themselves will tell you, yeah, this is the big one. The Chili Bowl is exciting. Races like the Hot 100 are big. All those races on TV all summer long at IRP in Winchester, yeah, they're important, but this is the big one.
Well, this is where the East meets the West, the North meets the South. They all assemble right here, and this is the big one. This is the one that they all want to win, and it's very tense inside those race cars right now.
There are several cars painted red and white. Number 1, we'll try and keep them straight for you, beginning with Kevin Doty. It's an orange helmet. That's the car starting in the pole. Watch Kevin. Always a favorite to do well at Belleville. Bad start. Making a big jump on the start is Donnie Beechler. And one of the 2 Potter cars for the 1994 Belleville Midget Nationals is underway.
That's right, Kevin Doty got a bad start. He dropped all the way back to around 4th or 5th spot. The rest of those guys battling 2 and 3 wide down there, trying to get back up front. That's Tony Stewart in the black number 6 car running right behind Estes right there. Very good battle. Look at it, 3-4 wide all the way back.
Stewart in that black number 6 is the teammate to race leader Donnie Beechler. Right now, Richard Griffin has moved into 4th, going around his teammate Kevin Doty. The pole setter, remember, and Griffin, by the way, he's in a car that's red and white. Number 1, he's got a white helmet. That's how you tell him apart.
Stewart's out of the race. That's him clear on the bottom. You see the fire coming out of the exhaust. Something's wrong with that engine, so he's done for the night. Battle up front is Tommy Estes Jr. and Richard Griffin right behind him, trying to get up to 2nd position.
Oh, what a disappointment for Tony Stewart. Here's a man who certainly was a threat to win this race, had a great main event Friday night, but on lap 2 or 3 of the Nationals, he drops out.
Donnie Bates was just checked out. As we look at Kevin Doty, he's back in 4th spot, right behind Richard Griffin, trying to catch up, and that other white car catching up with him, I believe, is Danny Bryden. Here we see Doty diving to the bottom, trying to gain spots.
Kevin Doty trying to make up for a miserable start. He's in the middle of the racetrack, but does he have the momentum? No! Close calls there as his teammate moves underneath, forces him to move high, but he moves right back up on the exhaust pipe of Tommy Estes Jr. He's got some momentum, but does he have enough room?
Griffin on the bottom, Estes in front of him. Kevin Doty opens up the top, and he's gone.
Kevin Doty moves into the runner-up position. Dan Trinan looks to the inside now of the gas man, the double D, the gas man. Now, Richard Griffin moves to the inside of Tommy Estes Jr., and Richard Griffin moves into 3rd. So teammates now run 2nd and 3rd, but they're all looking for Donnie Beechler. Where'd he go?
Donnie Beechler checked out. This is Danny Bryden. Look at him. He's down in the middle of the racetrack. He slides up in the front of Estes. Man, oh man, yellow flag is out.
Red flag is out. We've got a car upside down. It's Randy Roberts in corner number 2. That's Kerry Foss, who's sitting upright in his car checking the situation out. But Randy Roberts is the driver who got upside down. Randy is out of the car. Apparently he is okay, but significant damage to a car that he jumped into just tonight.
First of all, Randy, it's good to see you out of the car and okay.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, everything's okay. The only thing we're hurt is race car. Everybody's okay. So,
Randy, what happened up there?
well, I was following Kerry Fossa, and like I say, we just kind of riding because it was early. The car's working great, and geez, he lost a right rear. I seen the tire blow, and hey, we was right on him, and there was nowhere to go. You know, it's just a bum deal. You know?
Well, we'll see you back next year. Thanks.
Hey, thank you.
That's race leader Donnie Beechler. In conversation with Tracy Potter, the Racing Potter family, crew chief on this car.
Carry the black further to here like you did last time.
Well, I'll stay down there.
That way you carry speed.
Because I don't think I can run on the cushion down. The car wants to go like that.
Tommy, you're running 3rd. What are you changing on the race car?
Oh, we changed rear tires. We went with a little softer tire, I guess, than what we should have probably, and we started chewing on them pretty good. It's only 6 laps in the race, so we put a little hard tire back on.
So this red flag probably actually helped you.
I hope so.
Here's an update as to how they are running up front. Beechler, Kevin Doty is 2nd. Tommy Estes Jr. currently ranked in 3rd. One of the 2 Zarunian twin cars. Richard Griffin, the gas man, is 4th. And Danny Drynan moved up to 5th.
Donnie had a really nice lead. Did you change anything on the race car?
Well, we were going to, and then we changed our minds again. It's a guessing game. The car feels nice, again, like last night, so we'll see what happens. Got a few more laps than last night tonight.
Does a red flag like this hurt your rhythm?
Yeah, whenever you stop, you know, you always got to get back in the groove, but it takes about, 20 feet, and you're going again.
Here we have positions 6 through 10. Steve Knepper, Jerry Coons, Jason Jonkman, Robbie Flock, and Dan Borse as we get ready to restart this race.
6 of 40 laps have been completed, but this is a big racetrack. 34 laps, almost seems like 34 miles. This racetrack, Larry, they say that it is a 5/8, but I've been out on this thing, and I've been on a lot of half miles in my life. I swear that thing feels like it's about 3/4 of a mile around.
It's a long way from the outside of the front straightaway to the outside of the back straightaway. It is an awfully big racetrack, one of the biggest half miles with 5/8 or whatever that I've ever seen.
If you've never been to Belleville, you really ought to go if you're a race fan, because I've seen, like you, hundreds of racetracks, maybe thousands now after our age past 20 in our lives, and I've never seen one that we could classify as a short track but be bigger than this. It's like almost close to Langley.
I think you're right. I think it's one of the biggest half miles with 5/8 in the country. Obviously, it's almost 3/4 of a mile around up where you're running. As we look at the restart, Estes gets down to the bottom, can't pull it off though.
Donnie Beechler continues to hold the lead, and there is Kevin Doty again. The orange on the helmet is how you can identify Kevin. That's one of 4, red and white, or some combination thereof, numbers 1 in this race. And Kevin Doty is challenging for the lead. The red flag may have helped him more than it did Donnie Beechler. Remember, Beechler made no change, but Doty has a bad corner number 2.
He certainly did. We heard Beechler say that he couldn't run the cushion very well down in 1 and 2. We'll see if that's an advantage for Kevin Doty. If he can run the cushion better than Beechler can down there.
And the cushion is where Doty really likes to run. We have seen him in years past here at Belleville, and Doty has a line that's slightly higher than everybody's. We've seen Andy Hillenberg run high. Hillenberg and Doty many times have their own lane right up to the racetrack, called the Richard Petty lane.
Look again, Beechler again runs down to the bottom, getting in, has to slide up to the cushion. He gives Kevin that position there to try to get around. Can't do it though, has to settle for second spot.
This is a momentum racetrack. Doty almost went over the cushion. It would have cost him a lot of momentum, but he saved it. This is a momentum racetrack. Doty challenging on the inside again. You can't hear. I think Kevin Doty's got the lead this time.
Slid up in front of him, gave him an opportunity. They almost banged wheels coming off the corner, but Kevin hung on, and now then it's going to be very difficult. Let's take a look at that again. As they run down into the corner, Kevin Doty runs down to the bottom, takes the low groove, pulls what we call a slide job as he runs right back up into the groove, cuts off the racetrack. As he does that, Beechler tries to cut back under him, and coming off the corner, it looks like I think they do make a little contact right there.
Both completely legitimate and acceptable moves by a fellow professional race driver. Well done. Hey, no contact, no harm, no foul. Here it is again, that move by Kevin Doty, a classic pass on a high-speed racetrack. We were talking about the momentum earlier. You can't hear it on the video of this home video that you have here, but you're on the throttle all the way around. You never crack the throttle. So you steer this car, you control the car completely by turning the steering wheel. And momentum is the name of the game, and you keep the momentum by going as straight as you can, as often as you can, because the gas means nothing.
Richard Griffin running in 3rd spot now. He's moved up a spot. He's working on Donnie Beechler right now, trying to do the same thing that Kevin Doty did earlier, trying to find a way to get a little bit of a chance. He bangs the ball hard coming off the 2.
Griffin gives a pretty good wrap to the fence there on the second turn. This track on the backstretch, remember, is not really the classic second turn, backstretch, third turn, but if there were a second corner, here it is, and Griffin bites it.
He jumps up over the cushion, hits it with the right rear, then the right front. He's very lucky that right front didn't climb a little bit farther up there and turn that race car over. The question is now, did he bend anything on the race car?
Tires are an area of vulnerability, particularly at Belleville. We've seen it a number of times this week, as we do every year. Now there is Steve Knepper. That is the second running car. That is Robbie Flock. Prime time. The man who started in 9th position moves up a position. He slides into 6th.
Boy, he sure did. He's right behind Danny Grinan now. It takes a brave man to slide up like he did right in front of everybody. He did a good job. Never cost anybody position. And right there, Grinan got a little squirrely. Look at Knepper back around him.
Steve Knepper, once a second place finisher here at Belleville in the second Cerulean car. He gets back around Flock, back around Grinan. These 3 cars have traded this position. This is 5th. The last couple of laps on the high side. There's Knepper again. Grinan tries to tuck in behind him. Picks up. There's Robbie Flock. Slide job down on the bottom. Tries to move up. Finds no moisture. Finds no tacky part of the racetrack. Has to fall into the line of the train.
I tell you what, those guys swap positions 2 or 3 times there. Look at this. He's right on the bumper. He's getting a little tap coming off the corner. Still trying to find a way to get around him. Flock this time dives part of the bottom. See if he can do this.
To make a pass, you have to start out close, and Robbie Flock is the master at that. He runs as close to the guy in front of him as anybody we've seen here at Belleville for a couple of years.
Yeah, nobody takes any more chances. There's no braver race car driver out there than Robbie Flock as he almost slid into him with his right front right there.
To wit. Now, moving up on this duo, Jason Jonkman is a part of the cars moving in on Robbie Flock, as is the number 1 of Jerry Coons Jr.
Both of those guys coming up strong. And Robbie Flock, they've gained a lot of momentum. They're gaining experience, too.
The 1 AZ, that's 1 Arizona silver on the car, that's Coons. The other one is Jason Jonkman. It's a solid red one.
Kevin Doty. He's pulled out to quite a comfortable lead over Donnie Beechler and Tommy Estes. He's just cruising right now, trying to make this thing last for 40 laps.
Meanwhile, Flock and Dryden, as we go back and check on them briefly, they still haven't decided what they're going to do about that. Both of them want fifth place.
This is a battle for second places. Beechler trying to hold off Tommy Estes Jr. Beechler running very strong, but not quite as fast as he was before that red flag.
Again, Estes, one of two cars numbered 67. Estes in multicolored helmet. There's orange and blue on that. His teammate Steve Knepper in a car painted exactly alike, but plain white helmet. This is the fight for second place. Beechler has been in first or second since the green flag dropped. No one seems to be able to deal with Kevin Doty right now, but Estes is really testing Beechler.
Beechler's just a little bit loose. He's running up against the cushion. He's moved back up there on that cushion where he said he didn't like it very well. But he's just running a little bit loose. When he gets up there, it gets a little bit sideways, so he's got to get out of the throttle just a hair to keep the race car straight. And Estes is taking advantage of it, but not enough to get around him.
The art of driving an open-wheel race car on a well-conditioned dirt track. It's got a few laps on it this week. It's hard and slick, but this track is so well prepared that it's very smooth. Oh, we have a yellow flag. A car has come to a stop there at the bottom of corner number 3. There's the race leader, Kevin Doty, so we know it's not he. Yellow flag is out.
I think we're getting a report that that's Robbie Flock. Yes, there's Robbie Flock sitting down there. They're beating on the header. The header's come loose. It's gotten up against the tire. They're trying to beat it away so he can maybe get a restart.
Boy, long week for Robbie Flock. He came to Belleville, as he has every year, expecting to be one of the favorites. There's the top 5 with 22 of 40 laps complete. 6th through 10th, Coons, Jonkman, Drake, Howard, and Danny Borse.
As we get ready to go back to restart here, it's going to be very interesting to see if anybody has got anything for Kevin Doty. Donnie Beechler doesn't seem to be fast enough. Estes can't get around him so he can get up there and test him. So it's going to be important for Estes to get a good restart, try to get around Beechler so he can get up there and maybe have something for Doty.
With Flock out of the contest, Steve Knepper, the teammate to Tommy Estes Jr., there he is. He's 4th. Dryden is 5th. Jonkman is right behind Danny Dryden, as is Jerry Coons Jr. Actually, Jerry Coons is 6th and Jonkman is 7th. We go back to green flag, a wild scramble there at the green flag going into corner number 1. Beechler gives the big look to the inside of Kevin Doty. Kevin just sort of calmly steers around corner number 1, holds his line, and I don't think the Beechler is going to get him down there.
Beechler's trying that bottom groove, trying to make it work down there.
Oh, Dryden over the cushion, loses a lot of track space, a lot of track time.
Back down to the bottom, now back up to the top. We see Beechler, he's still running second, but that's Steve Knepper. Steve Knepper got the best restart of almost anybody on that restart. Moved up to 3rd, and now that he's hard after Donnie Beechler, trying to move into that second position.
Knepper had a great run here in 1988 and 1989. He was the winner in 88. He was second in 89. Actually, it was a 3-year run because in 1990, Steve Knepper was second when Jeff Gordon came here and just swept this field and totally swept all the crowd off its feet. He lapped every car on the track that year except Steve Knepper, who came home in second place.
Knepper's trying to make that low groove work. He's moving down there. Uh-oh, Beechler's got trouble. He's pulling down the inside of the racetrack.
Donnie Beechler, one of the 2 preliminary night main event winners and a challenger in 1st and 2nd all night long up till now, has retired, and both Potter V6s are now gone.
Getting a report that he broke the rear end gears in that car, so that'll put him out for the night. Tough break. He had a nice run going. Look at Danny Dryden. He's up over that cushion, very close to the fence, really testing himself, and it looks like he's got trouble.
Dryden, as you pointed out, Larry, had just gotten up into the fence. That could be a tire problem because at least twice, maybe 3 times, we saw him get very close to the fence, and that time it looked like he hit it.
Yeah, he pulled to the inside. He's going to have to go to the pits out for the night. Tough break for a couple of very good competitors that were right near the front.
That was Jason Jonkman, that red number 1. No silver on that car. White splashed on its tail. The red number 1 was silver on it, Jerry Coons, and now they are 4th and 5th. Here is yet another red and white number 1. Orange helmet, that means got to be Kevin Doty. You can also tell him he's got an STP oval right there on the hood of the car. But he has just been unmolested.
I was going to say, you can tell him mostly because there's nobody close to him. He's running away.
Yeah, it's easy to tell which one's Kevin, isn't it?
That's right. He's really got that thing working. He's got it dialed in, and it looks like it's going to be a long night for everybody else because he's really on the move.
Kevin Doty has run very well here in the past, but he is not among the top 12 in money winners. The all-time leading money winner with just 5 laps to go this year is Sleepy Trip. Stan Fox is second, and Steve Knepper is third on the all-time money winners list here at Belleville.
Even when you're running really fast, lap traffic can give you trouble. If they make a mistake, it causes you big problems. As he comes up on Fiscus here, but it looks like he moved right to the bottom, right back up to the top, and he's gone. Should be a fairly easy last 3 or 4 laps for Kevin Doty.
Kevin Doty, the Milan, Illinois driver, finished second a year ago in this race. Paige Jones was the winner. Richard Griffin teamed up with Kevin this year, was the 3rd finisher. Robbie Flock was 4th, and Steve Knepper 5th in 1993. But this is beginning to look more and more like Kevin Doty's year.
He's at least a half lap ahead of everybody else on the racetrack. He's just cruising right now as the teammates, Steve Knepper and Tommy Estes Jr. battling each other here for 2nd position.
Estes, if you're wondering, he too has been fast at Belleville. This is not a new phenomenon to see him running up front. Luck's never really been on his side, and he really hasn't had an opportunity to have a top 3 finish.
Got a yellow flag. Yellow flag for some reason or another. It's going to give everybody a chance to get one last shot at Kevin Doty.
Well, the yellow flag is for Jay Drake, who has come to a stop. Looks like he perhaps has made some contact sitting sideways. And incidentally, I want to correct myself on Estes. He was 3rd in 1992. He was very fast a year ago, but luck just wasn't on his side.
Yeah, he's obviously had some trouble because that race car doesn't get in that sort of a position without spinning or hitting something.
With 8 laps to go, it's Doty, Knepper, Estes, Jerry Coons Jr. is 4th, and Jason Jonkman is 5th. Sleepy Trip now finds himself inheriting 6th. Howard, Hewitt, Forrest, and Tony Elliott round out the top 10 with just 8 laps to go. It's now the 11th hour. 8 to go in the 1994 Belleville Midget Nationals. Kevin Doty has displayed to everyone that he is King Kong for the evening, but a late yellow or red flag, more so a red than a yellow. Unfortunately for Kevin, this is not a stoppage. Sometimes breaks your rhythm or even changes the performance of the car.
This is the last chance to dance. This is the time they're going to have to make a go at him if they're going to go, because the restart's the only chance they're going to have, and it doesn't look like because of that lap car they're going to get much of a shot at him. It's going to be a battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th back there as Kevin Doty just kind of walks away.
Knepper has gotten a great jump, established himself in 3rd. There's Tommy Estes Jr. And look at the jump that Jason Jonkman got. He moves up to challenge Estes for 3rd. This is Robbie Flock's teammate. Jason's still using Robbie's advice.
And Jason Jonkman has been very impressive here. This is a tough racetrack. It's only his 2nd time, and he's running right up with the top dogs. I mean, these guys that are in front of him have been here for a long time.
Jerry Coons Jr. following Jason Jonkman. There you can see the race leader, Kevin Doty, seemingly a little bit off the pace, but I think he feels like he's got this under control.
Well, Knepper, he better not feel too much like that because Knepper's not that far back. He's got to maintain a good rhythm, good speed. He can't make any mistakes. That's what Knepper needs right now, is he needs a mistake, which is very unlikely from a guy like Kevin Doty.
With 5 laps to go, you can see the black ribbon very close to the fence, but they seem to be running about a half a car width above it, Larry.
Yes, they are. They're trying to get that right rear up in the wet dirt just above the black stuff. We see Jack Hewitt and Sleepy Trip here having a great battle as Hewitt's on the bottom, Trip's up on the top. Trip told us earlier that the race car was a little loose when he tried to run that cushion, so he's just running up there trying to hang on.
Sleepy Trip, the 1985 and 87 winner of this great race, but Kevin Doty is looking more and more with each passing lap like he's going to be the winner of 1994, but I don't think he'd like me to say that. He's certainly not counting himself the winner just yet.
He's battling that thing pretty hard, as is everybody who's running that cushion. It's not an easy place to run, and you've got to keep on top of it every second. You've really got to concentrate to run up there and run really fast. And all 5 of these guys up front are doing just that.
Still 4th place up for grabs. The 2 people on the starting line for that. The gun is fired, and the last 100 yards of this race are coming up right now. Coons and Junkman in very similarly painted cars. They've been together most of this race night, and right now they're trying to decide which one of us is going to take home fourth place money. Big purse on tap, $10,000 to the winner, annually one of the biggest purses in midget motor racing.
Yeah, right now Junkman seems to be doing a really nice job. He's just keeping a distance in front of Coons. Coons doesn't be able to look like he's able to catch him. White flag is coming up. Boy, oh boy, this race has gone fast.
Kevin Doty, last out of corner number 4. He's looking for the checkered. He brings it home safely, and Kevin Doty is the winner of the 1994 Belleville Midget Nationals. Steve Knepper, a winner here in 1988. Locks up his third runner-up finish in his career, and Kevin Doty is excited. Look at the orange helmet pounding the steering wheel.
Hey, they're giving each other the high fives. They're really happy, and there's nobody happier than that man right there. He's been trying for a long, long time. Look at that excitement. Look at that thrill he's got. He's been trying for a long time to win this race. This has got to be one of the biggest victories for this young man.
There have been something like 13 different winners in the 17 previous races. Make that 14 as Kevin Doty puts his name into the record book and joins people like Chuck Gurney, Jeff Gordon we mentioned earlier, Jack Hewitt, he won in 91, Tommy White, and of course, Ron Sleepy Tripp.
Owner Rusty Coons looking in there. He's very happy. He's won this race before, but Kevin hasn't.
Kevin Doty has been racing midgets all of his life, but there have been few victories that are more important to him than this one, and I would suspect, Larry Rice, this is probably the most important one in his career.
You can see the excitement. You know, there's not very many races in this country that are much better than this one. He's very happy. The whole crew's very happy as they're running around here giving each other high fives, and it is a big night for this whole group.
Kevin Doty, fantastic ride.
Oh man, I've been waiting all my life for a big race like this. First of all, I gotta thank my dad for starting me out. I gotta thank the Coonses for giving me this ride, and the good Lord above. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Kevin, what were you able to change during the red flag to make your car so fast?
We didn't change a damn thing. This car was so damn fast, we didn't need to change nothing.
That's great. Kevin, only a few years ago, there was a young man by the name of Jeff Gordon that won this race, and today he won the 400. It's got to tell you that your career has got a future.
Well, I'd like to think so. I don't know how much of a pavement shoe I am, but we give her hell on dirt.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Larry, I am amazed at the number of different people who have won this race.
That's because it's so hard to win. You don't get a lot of repeaters because every good driver in the country shows up here.
Well, Steve Knepper had another great race. He's finished in the top 3 for the umpteenth time, or so it seems. Here at Belleville, as you see, Estes was 3rd, Jonkman 4th, and Jerry Coons 5th.
Steve, you're a former winner. You wound up 2nd. Congratulations.
Well, we're real happy with 2nd. Kevin's a good friend of mine, and I'm glad to see him win it. I sure would have liked to win it myself. The Zerunian Stealth car was working excellent, Fontana motor. I couldn't ask for anything else. We were close, but no cigar.
Yeah, thinking about it, you guys have raced a lot of years together.
Well, in fact, me and Kevin go back to when we were just real little guys. Bud's dad had a midget back in the late 60s and early 70s, and so did my dad. And we grew up, I don't know if you ever read the article about the pig barn races. At Terre Haute, they've got the pig barns. Me and Kevin and Bob Wenny's kids, we used to have foot races when we were kids, so Kevin's a real good guy.
Well, this is a big step from those pig barn races.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I tell you, me and Kevin have had some good battles this year. He's just been a little bit quicker than us this year.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
6th in the 94 Belleville Nationals, California, Sleepy Tripp, Dan Borse, Jack Hewitt, Gary Howard, and Tony Elliott, 10th.
After the red flag, you're running 3rd, and you still wound up 3rd.
Yeah, we probably should have run 2nd. You know, I couldn't get the car to take off on a restart. The motor loads up. We've been fighting it all week. I ran the car that Steve drove at Lincoln, didn't have no trouble with it. And this was a brand new piece, and I don't know what it is. They're both identical. He says his didn't stumble, mine's stumbling big time on the starts, and it probably cost me 2nd place.
Well, congratulations at any rate. You drove a real fine race.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it.
And here we see 11 through 15. Aaron Fiskus, Randy Fiskus, Jay Drake, Danny Drynan, and Donnie Beachler round out the top 15. In 16th position was Robbie Flock. Here's a guy who's had a tough time all week.
Really long weekend, but I'll tell you what, you never gave up.
Nope, never gave up hope, and I'm still happy with getting to drive and survive this place with a good race car, and people really gave me a good chance, and we just had the bad luck, so we got to beat that luck, and when we get that beat, we might be the Belleville champion.
And Larry, I suspect there are a lot of people as we look at this year's champion who think that Robbie Flock will be that someday.
Well, I'm sure he will, and every one of these guys is going to come back and try to conquer this place. It's a tough, tough place. The best of the best have won here, and everybody else wants to be a winner here.
George Wilkins, Larry Rice, and myself, Larry Newber, have brought you the 1994 Belleville Nationals. And so they all return home after another year at Belleville. Some are happy, some are elated, some are sad, some are gratified that they are better than they were the last time they were here. It's a tough place. Some will go home nursing bruises. But they all will return. Until the next time, we will see you at the races.